A Rose For Lotta's opening shot introduces us to that iconic burning map, which would become one of the most recognizable shots of any show. They use shots from this episode to show us each of our main actors. I find myself cringing quite a bit when they decide to use that shot of Hoss licking his lips at Lotta to introduce him to us. I think we can all be thankful that they changed their minds on that promptly after. We meet Ben Cartwright and his eldest son Adam as they gaze out over their empire that we learn is a 1,000-square-mile ranch called the Ponderosa, which Ben compares to heaven itself. As they continue speaking, we get a look at the seemingly tense relationship between Adam and his youngest brother that they call Little Joe. Adam seems almost burdened with responsibility, and appears to resent his baby brother for his lack of it. We meet the middle son Hoss as he is cleaning his horse's hooves. Ben again mentions Little Joe, and we cut to the house where Adam is watching his little brother gliding around the great room with his epee or fencing sword. Adam is having none of it and grabs his arm. They get into an argument where they insult each other's dead mothers. Yep, that's what I said. Yikes. Just yikes. Ben and Hoss burst in, and Ben kind of grumbles at them with that strange fire and brimstone comment, and Hoss assures him that he'll take care of it. I always get a laugh out of it when Hoss throws Joe into Ben's chair, but then he smacks Adam right in the back and sends him straight into the grandfather clock. Think maybe he has a favorite brother? As most siblings do, Adam and Joe make up quickly in a sweet little scene that I love. The relationship between the two isn't explored enough, so these scenes are all the more enjoyable. Joe displays how capable he can be despite his age by letting them know that he didn't lose any of the cattle he just moved. This is just the first of many times when Joe displays his intelligence and skills over the course of the show, especially in the face of others' underestimation of him. But we'll get to that, don't worry. Ben calls for the family's cook Hop Sing, and soon-to-be beloved character makes it first of many threats to quit because Ben yells too much. The boys encourage Ben to apologize, and Hoss practically pleads with him, out of fear that they may lose all that great food. But Ben kind of mocks him during said apology. Hop Sing takes it well, so I guess it's fine. It's fine. I want to mention that I've read that Lauren Green was the one to approach David Dortort about changing Ben Cartwright's character a little by making him less rough around the edges. He felt that people weren't going to watch the show if all the Cartwrights did was yell at people to get off their land. Dortort obviously agreed, and they formed Ben into the fatherly gentleman that we come to adore. So we have Lauren to thank for that. On that note, in the following scene, the Cartwrights see a carriage coming across their land, and they immediately approach it with guns blazing. One quick side note is that Adam was breaking a horse when the scene started, and it sounded to me like Hoss may have called him Thunder. Did anybody else catch that? Let me know in the comments. The driver explains that they had a broken down wheel, and out pops actress Lotta Crabtree, played by the beautiful Yovan DiCarlo. She tells the driver that he will have to answer to her if he allows Ben to intimidate him. I guess they should have known she was an actress before even finding out, just by the way she gives that speech. Let me just say now that I'm not saying that about Yovan, but rather about Lotta. The character is overdramatic by design, and I love it. The Cartwright sons fuss over who is going to take Lotta back to town while the wagon is fixed, and Joe wins. On the way, Joe exposits for the audience again that Ben was married 3 times and they each have a different mother. I think that was done pretty well and helps us to further understand why they're all so different from each other. In Virginia City, a group of mustache-twirling bad guys, miners, discuss their desperate need for timber and the Cartwrights' refusal to give them any of theirs. There's a random lady just eating while they talk, and they ask if everything is all right, and a random throwaway line that really adds nothing. Alpheus Troy, the leader of the group, explains that they have hired Lotta to kidnap one of Ben's sons and use him as a bargaining chip against Ben. Last time I checked, kidnapping is against the law, but Virginia City didn't have a sheriff at the time, as far as I know, so I guess it's fine. Joe visits Hop Sing's father and takes one of the roses off his vine, only asking after he's already done it, if the guy minds. He attends Lotta's play where she sings her catchy number, and Joe throws the rose to her after it's over. Get it? A Rose for Lotta. She leads him back to her hotel room where she brags on all of her expensive tastes. He seems pretty unimpressed, and she notices. She tells him that he has no idea how hard she's worked to get where she is, and that's when she notices the goons coming toward the hotel. She gives the game away right before the men break in. Joe uses his umbrella as an epee, cementing his point to Adam earlier in the episode that he might need to use it someday, and he'd best be ready for it. He calls Lotta sweetie and takes off. Ben and Hoss break into the Sazerac saloon where the miners are enjoying the spoils of their pre-achieved success. Langford Poole, a hired gun, who looks like he's had a few too many 6 years ago, gets in Ben's face and threatens to kill him. Adam takes up the fight, and we get a great shot of his beautiful eyes before he shoots only to wound. Adam then goes and confronts Lotta. Lotta calls the whole thing a lark, which I find rather strange. Adam threatens to break her arm, more evidence of that gruffness that the Cartwrights shed with their phony accents as the series go on. Joe has a blast getting past the goons, and he hides in Hopling's laundry basket. The older man yells at him in Chinese and chases him out. Michael Landon's performance makes this scene a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure this is where we picked up a ton of Joe girls on the Bonanza train. The others find Joe dancing with Lotta in what looks like it's close to dawn. Ben chides him and he takes off, getting a fatherly whack in the butt on the way out. Lotta and Adam lock eyes, to which Hoss and Ben take notice. Hoss playfully pushes Adam toward her before he and Ben walk out. Adam and Lotta kiss, and the four ride away. They originally had the Cartwrights singing the words to the theme song at the end of this episode, but it was cut out, and I think we're all the better for it. As far as pilots go, this is one of the better ones I've seen. It has some rough spots, but if you hang on for the ride, you'll be rewarded, I promise. I'm not afraid to film Bonanza Babes podcast. What? What's that? Never do that again? Yeah, okay, that's fair.